Greetings, adventurers. This is DM Kurt. So, last night, a few members of our party got sucked into a Mirror of Life trapping. What had happened is they cracked open a sarcophagus, looked inside, and failed saving throws. Poof, they're off in an extra dimensional prison of sorts. The remaining two party members had to deal with a couple of irritating minor monsters and try to figure out what was going on as a giant multi-ton pendulum was above them on a chain that was making sounds of breaking, a little ping as individual links were snapping. So they were on a timer that they did not know how short that timer was. Now, you can look in the DM's guide and you can say, okay, well, this trap, this cursed item, has these game mechanics. But you're going to have to figure out how to describe to the players what's going on. And that's what's going to really bring it to life. You can't just say, okay, you guys disappeared, you don't know what's going on, and then you deal with the other two. You deal with the players who are not involved in the trap. Now you have to have the players who are in the trap have some kind of experience, some kind of opportunity to tell the DM what they're trying to do, so that the entire party is involved, even though they're separated. All the players have essentially something to do. So while the party members were trapped inside the Mirror of Life trapping, the DM, and a couple of players helped on this, had to say, okay, you can't communicate with each other. So table talk got a little bit quashed, and notes had to be passed back and forth to some extent. But the experience that the DM described to the players was, okay, you're standing in an area where you have about 3 feet of visual distance before the thick fog prevents you from seeing any further. And so then the players had to tell the DM what they are doing in that situation. And don't use player knowledge to communicate to the others. So the paladin said, okay, I'm going to stab my sword into the ground, and he's going to do some radiant, holy thing. The DM says, okay, your sword just kind of sticks down into nothing. Below your feet, there's nothing solid beneath your sword. Next, okay, I'm playing the monk. I grab my staff with one hand, and I kind of hold it out at a little bit of a distance and just kind of sweep forward with it, and I will walk forward, kind of like a blind man using his white cane. It's like, okay. The wizard that was trapped in his own little area cast Firebolt. Okay, well, the bolt goes about 3 feet, and then you lose sight of it, and all you see is a glowing dot in the fog, which eventually extinguishes. Okay, as it gets past your field of sight, so there's a light in there. Okay. Next round, the paladin tries to do some radiant light thing, and he basically, the light refracts off the fog, and he can see even less, and then the flash of light extinguishes because it ends. I said, okay, I'm going to reach down and touch the floor and see what that is. He goes, well, I should do that. You can reach below your feet, and there's nothing there. Groovy. The wizard casts clairvoyance, and he can then see one of us. back and forth. We all are doing something. The paladin decides he wants to try to step downward, and basically the DM describes, okay, it seems like you're just willing yourself to step downward like you're climbing downstairs, but yet there's nothing below your feet exactly, and you can't see below your knees as to what it actually is. It's like, wow, okay. My character starts singing, and nobody else in any of the other two cells can hear me. But I do that, and I call out and see if I can hear anything coming back. Nothing. Smell. You can kind of smell your own body scent, even though normally you can't. It's just that there's no other smells present. Oh, wow. That's wild. So while you have, as a DM, laid this trap upon the players and some of them stepped into it, put some thought into, okay, you can't just take the players out of the immersion of the moment and say, okay, well, your character's gone, and I'm just only going to deal with the party members that are still in the tomb. Now have the players whose characters are shuttled aside, have them have something to do too. That's just an idea for how to run a scenario using the Mirror of Life trapping, or any other scenario in which you separate the party. Try to plan such scenarios out, or at least be able to improvise on the fly, some way of having everybody involved. I remember having one instance where the party was separated, and I really only dealt with one side of the group, and that was my bad. The other players were kind of sitting in limbo with nothing to do, and they were going to get bored. So that was a mistake of me as a DM. And I hope this has been educational and informative. DM Kurt, out.